This is a video review of the Transformers Robots in Disguise One-Step Change Strongarm. And this is probably my favorite of the bunch of these four guys. She's probably my favorite of the bunch just because she has the most interesting transformation mechanism of all of them. So, to start off with, she has this little car mode. It has these weird little spoiler things on the top, and you'll see why they need them. I think they're just big enough to be useful in robot mode, and just small enough to be kind of tasteful in this mode, but it would look better if they weren't there. She rolls pretty well for having those kinds of wheels that sort of peg on. And anyway, to transform her, what you do is you grab hold of the back and the front, and then you just pull them back on that hinge right there, and voila! And I love that. I love the motion that she makes when she transforms. Now, I know a lot of you are going to hate this figure because, wow, that is a huge bunch of kibble, and she can stand because she has those little heel spurs, but not very well. She can get knocked down pretty easily. Now, there is one thing I found that you can do to kind of mitigate that, which is, and this is actually a very interesting mechanism back here, to make sure that these gears don't ever just break from a kid trying to force them. What they have is a ratchet mechanism here, so if you keep everything else steady and you move it, okay, so it's ratcheting around that gear down there. Now that makes it seem like, oh, well then, this one right here doesn't have the same protection mechanism, but it actually does because it's actually ratcheting on a higher gear tooth. Like, there's some gear teeth down here below these gear teeth that are used in the transformation, and then there's some ratchet gear teeth above it, one step too, so there's the second pair, and there's the first pair. And I think that's really interesting, and it does allow you to do something with the robot mode that I think actually works pretty well for her. Which is, if you hold her, and then you bring one down like that, then you bring the other one down like that, she kind of gets wings, and it makes her backpack not as big, and she can stand a little bit better. It also sort of locks her transformation, so she can't really go down more than that. Now, I understand some of you probably wouldn't want to do that whole messing with the ratchet thing, and so if you're okay with this, then she's still a pretty good figure. And one thing that I didn't quite like about her at first was she will transform on her own if you just bend her down like that. And it's cool that she does that, but sometimes you may not want her to do that. So what I found you can do is you can just press her arms back like that. And she doesn't look great when you do it that way, but she's not going to transform after you do that. So for being such a simple figure that she really doesn't even have arm articulation, like you can bring her arms forward, but it feels like you're bending plastic in ways that you shouldn't when you do that. And there's a little stop in there that, like, it's obviously meant that the arm shouldn't go past it. So she really doesn't have articulation in this mode, but she just has such a cool transformation mechanism, and because you can see a lot of the inner workings of how the toy was designed, I just think it's just a really interesting and cool figure. So basically, if you're into really posable stuff, this isn't for you. But if you just want something that's on the basically, see this as like a super simple Rubik's Cube, like 2x2 Rubik's Cube. You don't get it because it's a challenge or because you can do anything more with it than just a little bit. You just do it because you want something to mess with your hands. That's what makes this figure great, and why I really love it. Like, this is one of my favorite little tiny toys, and I don't know, forever, just about. I really love this figure. So anyway, I have gushed about this thing enough. I do highly recommend it if you are into this kind of thing. But anyway, I review Transformers, Digimon, Tobots, Power Rangers, lots of stuff like that. And if that sounds interesting, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.